Hello everyone, Weather Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video note across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Friday evening, July 19, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons or in the path of these tropical systems so we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your coworkers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below, let me know what the has been like your year recently. Also, feel free to ask any other related question that you might have about the future of in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center's 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. We can see that as of their latest update, that's 7:16 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 6:16 p.m. Jamaica time, so about a half hour ago, they still have nothing highlighted for possible tropical cyclone development within the next 7 days. However, on their Atlantic discussion, they've highlighted numerous tropical waves, one in the eastern Atlantic, another tropical wave in the eastern Caribbean, and another tropical wave in the western Caribbean, and they even highlighted it on the NHC_TAFB page, showing the visible satellite images of the clouds associated with that tropical wave in the western Caribbean, now affecting portions of Central America, Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula, and the other tropical wave now affecting portions of the central to eastern or northeastern Caribbean right there. Lots of low-level clouds pushing from east to west, a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of moisture associated with that tropical wave. And we can see it all being represented on the surface map of the Atlantic. We can see the ridge of high pressure right here, represented by the H. That's responsible for sending the easterly trade winds across the main development region into the Caribbean. We can see the tropical wave right here pushing into the central Caribbean. And the other tropical wave is off screen, but it's definitely affecting portions of Central America as we speak. And we can also see the eastern Caribbean tropical wave right here off the west coast of Africa to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before the sun went down, we can definitely see the clouds associated with that tropical wave definitely doing a number on the Central American countries: Mexico, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua. As usual, Costa Rica and Panama getting in on some thunderstorms. But we can see the other tropical wave definitely doing a number on the eastern to central Caribbean. So anywhere from, let's say, Grenada northward. So sections of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, sections of St. Lucia, Martinique, Dominica, Guadeloupe, the Leeward Islands in general, so St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Bart, the US and British Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, Haiti, Dominican Republic. Most of those areas got some amount of rainfall today, if not overcast skies, if not some heat or mist showers. There was definitely a lot of moisture associated with that tropical wave, and this tropical wave is expected to move westward and affect portion of Jamaica this weekend. So look out for some amount of rainfall. Ensure that you strategically plan the way in which you do your laundry. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Friday, July 19, 2024. If you remember yesterday's video, we highlighted the fact that we would have been receiving the same weather pattern, more so some rainfall across sections of some northern and western parishes. And we know northern parishes, we're talking about those parishes on top. So Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Miriam, Portland. While western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall. So St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney. And what ended up happening? As early as 1:45 p.m., a post was made here on our Twitter page at Weather Jamaica. Keep in mind that these posts aren't only made here on our Twitter page, but on our Instagram page at weather.jamaica, on our TikTok page at Weather Jamaica, and on our Facebook page at Weather Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there, as we may post throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So the visible satellite image was posted at around that time, highlighting the clouds that were bringing overcast skies, if not some amount of isolated thunder showers, to section of some western parishes and inland areas of some central parishes. That at that time we had some thunderstorms across northwestern St. Elizabeth, sections of Westmoreland, Hanover getting in on the mix, section of southern St. James, spilling into section of Manchester, northern Clarendon, southeastern Trelawney, southern St. Anne. Then another post was made later on highlighting the infrared satellite image that was posted. And the infrared satellite image was posted at around, well, showing the 3:35 image, 3:35 p.m. And it showed the high cold cloud tops as represented by the blues, greens, yellows, oranges, reds, and the blacks that represent some deep convection. And we also saw the sparkling white dust that represents some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. So it definitely has some thunderstorms across sections of Hanover, Westmoreland, sections of St. James, Trelawney especially gotten on the brunt of the thunderstorms. More so overcast skies than anything else across section of St. Elizabeth, Manchester and Clarendon, but some northern spots, maybe northern Manchester, northern Clarendon might have gotten in on some of the isolated showers, section of western St. Anne as well. And we have a confirmation here from one of our followers, PG876, stating yes to St. James, and that indeed confirms his area right there in southern St. James getting in on that thunderstorm activity. And if we take a look at the accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours on the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website, this map does indeed paint the picture that we had more of the rainfall across sections of some western and some northern parishes during the afternoon. While the corporate era was definitely getting mostly sunshine than anything else, this live stream of Crossroads at 1:42 p.m. tells the tale. Definitely quite a hot day, sunny, some windy conditions for sure. Not much in the way of overcast skies or afternoon rainfall at all. By the way, if you'd like to see some live streams like this, just go over to See Jamaica's YouTube channel. They have live streams of numerous spots in the corporate area, even the Bogwalk Gorge. And that was about 1:42 p.m. today, but let us take a live look at the city view. We can see that there's nothing much to see here. We do see, however, that we have some hazy skies. If we look in the horizon, it looks a bit whitish, milky-ish color. So definitely some hazy conditions associated with the Sahara Desert. Please ensure that you have your meds handy, because we know how the Sahara dust can be. Definitely bring some hazy skies in general. But we can see that there's not much in the way of rainfall at all, just some cloudy skies, especially considering that the sun is going down as we speak. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of Jamaica before the sun went down, we can definitely see what took place. Those low level clouds definitely came in from the east. Then as they got into portions of central and western Jamaica, they built up into some cumulonimbus clouds, some thunderstorms with that diurnal convection, that daytime heating contributed to that kind of weather. And we saw what took place already on the infrared satellite images, but clearly as of right now most of it has died down. If we take a look at the latest infrared satellite image as of 23:35 UTC time, which is actually 6:35 Jamaica time, we can see that we only have some leftover clouds across sections of central and western Jamaica, most of which don't have much in the way of rainfall within them. Most of these clouds are dying out as we speak to make way for some clear skies so that we can see the stars tonight. If we take a look at the latest Cuban Doppler radar images, the latest image is as of 7:30 p.m. I'm pretty sure that there's a more recent one. If it's going to be loading, it's still in the process of loading. Let's see if it actually gets there. Either way, the time is now 6:48 p.m. so more than likely it's going to be showing, if it loads, the 7:40 p.m. radar image. But either way, we don't see much happening across Jamaica right now. We do see some isolated shores right there off to the west. It's loaded, 7:40, showing the latest image right there. Just some isolated thunderstorms or some rainfall right there to the southeast of the Cayman Islands. Some of this rainfall was definitely onshore western Jamaica today, and they pushed westward. Not much taking place on land right now. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can tell 28 degrees Celsius in both Montego Bay and Kingston. And by about 4 a.m. on Saturday, temperature should dip down to about 27 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 26 degrees Celsius in Kingston. This map from the GFS is showing 18Z on Saturday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Saturday when we calculate that. And we see Jamaica right here embedded in some slight yellow colors. That represents up to 1 degree Celsius above normal temperatures on the key. And we know the normal temperatures for the month of July across Jamaica are about 91 degrees Fahrenheit. When we take a look at the thermometer, 91 degrees Fahrenheit is about the same as 32.7 degrees Celsius if we calculate that correctly. So we should be receiving anywhere from 32 to 33 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Saturday. This map is showing the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Saturday. And we do see Jamaica right here under some brown colors, more so lighter shades of browns than anything else. What we don't want to see is that darker shade of brown that we see affecting a portion of the Eastern Caribbean by 2 p.m. on Saturday. Section of the Northeastern Caribbean getting in the mix. And we also see another darker shade of plume of dust off the coast of Africa. We know all of these are eventually going to be making their way westward. What we hope happens is that most of it dwindles down, getting into more some lighter shades of brown territory, if not blues than anything else. Little to no Saharan dust making way for more clear skies. But we're indeed grateful that Jamaica is not going to be getting on that vigorous plume. Most of it for Saturday should be across most of the Windward and Leeward Islands, Puerto Rico as well. If we take a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, not much change. More 1 to 1.5 meter wave heights in the bluish colors across majority of the Caribbean, 0 to 0.5 meter wave heights across the Gulf of Mexico. And that's because the least amount of winds are across the Gulf of Mexico, where we have those duller greens and blue colors that represent anywhere from 0 to 5 knot winds. While the Caribbean in general getting anywhere from 10 to 20 knots, gusting to 25 knots wherever we see the brighter greens and the yellows. You see the yellows especially to the south of Haiti. Right there, so some 25 knot winds definitely expected. And we see the general flow of the winds from the east. All courtesy of that big high pressure. You know the high pressure ridges have the winds going around them in a clockwise fashion. The low pressures, like with the hurricanes, have the wind going around them in an anti-clockwise fashion. So you know high pressure is the opposite of low pressure. Either way, as it relates to the wind forecast for tomorrow, we have some contrast to the wind forecast. The Euro model is showing more of the air piling up across sections of some central and western parishes. So yes, the winds are coming in from the east. So whatever comes off of the sea with the rainfall associated with that tropical wave could definitely affect section of eastern Jamaica, maybe section of St. Thomas, Portland, spilling into St. Anne, well, spilling into St. Mary, spilling into Kingston and St. Andrew as well. Let's see if that occurs. But what we're highlighting is the fact that the Euro is showing that for Saturday afternoon we'll be having the winds not so robust across sections of some central and western parishes. So that diurnal convection could affect section of central and western Jamaica when all of that air piles up and then it becomes some cumulonimbus thunderstorm clouds. But the contrast is this: the GFS is showing more of that air piling up across northern and western parishes. We also have a kind of turning to the winds, pushing more of the winds coming in from the southeast on the south coast. Either way, eastern Jamaica, some rain from off the sea with the tropical wave. And the afternoon, we see the GFS showing more of that air building across northern and western Jamaica. We'll see exactly what unfolds. Even the rainfall forecast maps are in consensus with this. So yes, the blues that represent rainfall for 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 7 a.m. Jamaica time, across maybe a section of St. Thomas, Portland right there. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS malls are in consensus with that forecast. But in the afternoon, that's where we have the differences in where the rainfall is expected. Yes, Eastern Jamaica still having the consensus for some isolated showers. But look at the afternoon. This is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 1 p.m. Jamaica time. The afternoon has the rainfall on the Euro across central and western Jamaica, with all of the blues and even some greens in there. The GFS showing more of the rainfall across northern and western Jamaica. It's going to be interesting to see which one of them actually wins. Either way, what's going to be forecasted on our page will be some rainfall for the morning across eastern Jamaica and some afternoon rainfall across central and western Jamaica. Let's see if the GFS wins with the northern and western Jamaica thing. It's more than likely going to win. The Euro a bit playing the southern Jamaica a bit too robust, and we don't want to get some persons disappointed, especially with the heat that's going on. Either way, both accumulated precipitation forecast maps from the Euro and the GFS are in consensus that there's going to be some amount of rainfall somewhere in Jamaica tomorrow. Euro showing up to 0.6 of an inch of rainfall in eastern Jamaica, and it also shows some rainfall across central and western Jamaica. GFS showing some rainfall across eastern Jamaica up to 0.29 of an inch of rainfall, and showing that rainfall across northwestern Jamaica up to 0.57 of an inch of rainfall. We'll see exactly what unfolds with that. My bet is on the GFS. This is going to be more so northern and western parishes. Either way, we'll take it. We're in the month of July. We usually receive less rainfall during this month. The Kingston's bar graph right here at the top showing up to 50 millimeters of rainfall during July. The Montego Bay bar graph right here at the bottom showing up to 3.1 or 2 inches of rainfall during the month of July. You can do the math. We have a nice graphic right here showing rainfall from inches to millimeter. 1 to 2 inches represents 25 to 50 millimeters. And you can also visit weatherandclimate.com to see what the annual rainfall for your specific parish is. Alright, so that is it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So as stated, tropical waves right here across the Central America area, another tropical wave across the Central Caribbean to the Eastern Caribbean. Parts of Northern and South America getting on some thunderstorm activity. Portions of the Intertropical Convergence Zone getting lashed with some amount of thunderstorm activity. That's normal. That's only affecting the fishes at sea and the shipping interest. And we can also see some clouds across sections of the southern and eastern United States. If we take a look at the Doppler radar images from earlier today of the northeastern Caribbean, just to show that they've definitely been getting nailed throughout the day, all courtesy of the tropical wave. We can see the clouds, well, the rainfall as represented by the greens and the yellows and the oranges in there that represent some moderate to heavy rainfall. And we see the general flow of this rainfall, especially across Puerto Rico, in a kind of east, south, east, west, northwest, or southeast to northwesterly fashion. We can also see some of that rainfall across section of the Leeward Islands earlier today. Section of Puerto Rico definitely got in on some of the rainfall, Eastern Dominican Republic as well. And if we take a look at the latest Doppler radar image as of 6:55 p.m. Central Daylight Time, considering that it's 6:57 p.m. Jamaica time right now, we can see that section of southern and eastern Puerto Rico still getting on some isolated showers. Eastern Dominican Republic as we speak. Not much taking place across the land areas of Guadeloupe, but areas in and around there. If we take a look at the Barbados radar, we can see some sprinkle of rainfall coming in from the east. Could affect sections of some spots, maybe in the eastern portion of the island later this evening. We can see some rainfall coming in from the east to affect section of Tobago, some rainfall right there off the western coast of Trinidad. We can also see some rainfall right there across section of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And we can see some rainfall right there to the north of St. Lucia. If we take a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we can see that rainfall associated with the tropical wave doing a number on northern Guatemala, section of Belize definitely got on some of the rainfall today. Coastal areas of Honduras, section of the Yucatan Peninsula, eastern Nicaragua getting on some rainfall as we speak. Not much rainfall, but some isolated showers currently affecting portion of Colombia, section of Suriname, and even section of French Guiana. But as it relates to the rainfall forecast now, we're looking for what both the Euro and the GFS models are showing in terms of rainfall within the next 24 hours. Keep in mind that both of them are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Saturday. So definitely some isolated showers for section of Florida, Bahamas, section of the Turks and Caicos, section of Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. If they're not already receiving that rainfall right now, there's still more to come, especially eastern Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, where we see those reds that represents up to an inch of rainfall. We can also see some isolated showers in store for sections of Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, sections of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, section of St. Lucia, Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Suriname, French Guyana, section of southern and eastern Venezuela, western Venezuela, section of Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, and Nicaragua, El Salvador, with all of those reds that represents up to an inch or more of rainfall. Honduras, coastal areas of Belize to be getting more rainfall, Guatemala, the Yucatan Peninsula, and we also see some slight greens that could be affecting section of the Cayman Islands. Maybe some isolated shores are in store for that area. I know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS are in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching.